Coughlin's Giants with wins over the Redskins, Cowboys, and the Buccaneers. Todd Haley's Chiefs 0-3. They've lost to the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Eagles. The Chiefs have won the toss. Former Chief Lawrence Tynes will get things started. Jamal Charles back deep for Kansas City. Kickoff taken at the 7 by Charles. And he loses the football. The Giants have recovered. Brian Keel falling on it after Charles coughed it up. So the Giants with 1st and 10 from the Chiefs' 16-yard line. Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs gains 4 down to the 12.
Todd Haley is trying to build this team around a run-first offense, and the model that he really likes is what this Giant offense is able to do, and it starts with that group up front. This line right here, David Diehl, Rich Seibert, Shaun O'Hara, Chris Snee, Kareem McKenzie. He really feels that this is the heart and soul of the Giants. And when you have a team that can come to the line of scrimmage and either run or pass, depending on what you're trying to take away defensively.
The game clock to 14:48. 14:48 on the game clock.
When you can dictate, that puts you in a position of power. That's where Todd Haley would like his offense to get to. And he's going to get a first-hand view of what this offense is all about this afternoon.
The offensive line making their 36th consecutive start together in front of Eli Manning.
Together is the key word, Matt. This offensive line plays together like no other in the NFL.
2nd and 6 from the Chiefs' 12. This is Jacobs. Looks to cut to the outside, and he's wrapped up by Corey Mays. Jacobs gains 1, 3rd down and 5 coming up.
This Giant offense will be challenged by the Chiefs defense. A lot of high picks, especially up in the front 7, but they haven't gotten the production from them yet. These guys have got to grow up quick. It's time for them to start playing. You bring in a guy like Mike Vrabel. You try and get some veteran leadership from some teams that have had success in the playoffs and winning championships. But this front 7, a bunch of young guys, very high picks, talented, but they've got to start producing.
They need to get pressure here early in the game with 3 or 4 guys. They decide to bring 3.
Manning on 3rd and 5. Can't find anyone. Now he throws, and the catch is made by Steve Smith, the 2nd leading receiver of the National Football League. And Smith gains 6. Picks up a Giants 1st down.
Well, Tony, I know you're excited to see the defense rush 3.
Oh, man, I just don't agree with that at all. You can't give a guy like this, Eli Manning, all that time. He's going to find a receiver. He's been with these receivers for a while. Smith is a smart guy. He's going to find an opening, and they're just going to go and get that 1st down just like what we saw. Instead of the Kansas City Chiefs going and having the Giants put up 3, now they're going to go for 7.
2 tight ends, 1st and goal from the 5. Jacobs picks up 2. We talked about the Giants' offensive line and the continuity. Both Rich Seibert, the left guard, and the right tackle Kareem McKenzie suffered injuries last week in Tampa, but both back in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, Kareem McKenzie, the one that I thought may be on the bubble. Is he going to be able to play this week? We had that game in Tampa. He went off on a cart. Rich Seibert, we knew he'd be able to fight through that and be ready this week, but good to see Kareem McKenzie out there. Probably one of the more underrated offensive linemen in the NFL.
Tough guy. He's got a knee brace on that right knee, though, too, Moose. Take a look at it.
Off the play fake on 2nd and goal. Manning to the end zone. Touchdown, Steve Smith.
All right, all you young quarterbacks out there, it's not always about throwing the ball. It's about your mechanics on every snap. Watch how good Eli Manning is with the ball fake. There goes all your pressure down inside. That buys him that extra second to be able to find Steve Smith in the back of the end zone. Great ball handling by Eli Manning.
Smith with a touchdown in 3 consecutive games. Giants have scored on their opening drive in all 4 games this season. Giants with an early 7-0 lead over the Chiefs. Set up by the fumble on the opening kickoff. Giants, Darryl, now lead the league 45 points off turnovers already.
They do not beat themselves, and if you make mistakes, they will make you pay for it.
Jamal Charles gets another opportunity coming out of his own end zone. Charles crosses the 20. As we take one more look at the touchdown, Manning to Smith.
Okay, let's take a look right here. Here's Glenn Dorsey, number 72. I want you to follow him. He's one of the young guys I talked about that needs more production. He's got to play with his eyes right now. Find the ball. He goes down on Brandon Jacobs. He's kind of through clean. He's on the back hip of the puller. If he has his eyes open and sees that it's a play fake and not actually given to Brandon Jacobs, he's going to sack Eli Manning or definitely make him get rid of that ball quicker before Steve Smith pops open in the end zone.
And the Chiefs start out of the Wildcat formation. Larry Johnson takes the snap on first down. Gain of just 2.
All right, let's get Matt Castle back out there. See, where was he lined up at, Kenny? Let's get him back under center. Well, this team is trying to find an identity. And last week against Philadelphia in the second half, they were down big. And Todd Haley elected to continue running the football. He's trying to find what this team can do. That group right there, that offensive line, there has been a tremendous amount of change back and forth.
Castle split wide to the left. Again, Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to Charles. So on the first 2 plays from scrimmage, Larry Johnson has taken the snap.
I like that they're trying to get the ball to Larry Johnson. That's the guy who definitely needs to go and get his rhythm early in the game. But, Darryl, I don't know, maybe you think differently. I don't think the Wildcat is where you want to put him because you have nothing else to worry about. You can go and have all the linebackers keying on him back there, and they know that's who's going to be getting the ball.
Well, he's not going to throw the ball. I'm not worried about Larry Johnson beating me throwing the football, so I'm going to bring my safeties down into the box. I think it makes it harder. This is what you need to do. Get Matt Castle. You want to run Larry Johnson, put him back in the eye 7 yards deep and hand him the ball from the quarterback.
3rd down and 8. Castle could not find anyone. And the football is loose. Castle brought down at the 29-yard line. Not exactly what Todd Haley and the Chiefs had in mind for their opening possession.
Well, tough duty on this offensive left side. Justin Tuck and O.C. Umenyiora on the same side. That flushes Matt Castle. And, you know, you start the game with Larry Johnson taking the snap from center and Matt Castle running the football. It's not going well offensively for you at the start.
Chiefs go 3 and out. Sonoris Moss awaiting Dustin Colquitt's punt. Punt takes a Chiefs roll and will be downed at the 23-yard line. Back in Kansas City, the NFL and its players are supporting National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Beginning today, players are wearing pink cleats, wristbands, gloves, towels. You had a look at the pink goalpost padding as well.
Coming on the field, shook hands with O.C. Umenyiora. He's wearing pink gloves.
Giants with a 7-0 lead, 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Manning to Smith at the 29. 3rd reception for Steve Smith, who has set a Giants record. Most catches, Darryl, over the first 3 games in franchise history. 23 coming into this game already, 3 today.
Well, taking advantage of the opportunities, and not just the fact that Plaxico Burress and Amani Toomer are not with the Giants this season, but really the way that teams elected to play this Giant offense the first 2 weeks. They were not going to let the running game beat them. They allowed the wide receivers to run free, and Eli Manning and that group made people pay.
2nd down and 4. Off the play fake. Manning complete for a 1st down. It's Smith again out of the 39-yard line. A gain of 10. Smith's 4th reception.
Really surprised, Moose. Everybody knows that Eli's looking for Smith. That's his go-to guy. I thought they'd have him covered a little bit better than we're seeing this early in the game.
He has been the guy. You know he's going to look for him on 3rd down. But obviously, in any situation, if Eli's vision is to that side of the field and you've got Steve Smith over there, you better make sure your coverage is tight.
Two tight ends set from the 39-yard line on first down. It's Brandon Jacobs running behind the fullback, Madison Hedgecott. Corey Mays the tackle. On 2nd and 9, this is Jacobs. Jacobs out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 5.
Had an opportunity to talk to Brandon Jacobs before the game. We had them last week, and one of the things that Tony and I noticed is, you know, when he gets to the line, he's a little bit indecisive and he stops his feet. He told me today he was ready to have a breakout game. He's going to press the hole. He's going to drive his feet. So we'll keep an eye on that today. He's just such a big physical runner that it's, I think he loses his best asset when he stops his feet.
Yeah, when he runs downhill, Moose, nobody can stop him. But that's something we want to see out of today's game.
Manning on 3rd and 5. He gets hit. He loses the football. And the Chiefs have recovered.
Tamba Hali has been, he's been close a couple of times. This time he finally gets there. Here he is down the bottom. He's going to beat David Deal around the corner. Boy, he turns that corner real nice, Goose. He gets nice and low. David Deal couldn't get a hand on him.
Well, that play, they actually showed like they were going to bring 4 or 5 guys. They wind up bringing 4. That's the pressure that Kansas City needs to bring on the Giants to have a chance.
Ali the sack and forced fumble. Glenn Dorsey the recovery. First Giants turnover the last 3 games. From the 36, Castle handing it off to Johnson. Larry Johnson inside the 30, hard to bring down. Johnson gains 8.
That's what you do. You saw Larry Johnson at the end of that run. He's excited. Don't put him in the Wildcat. Get him downhill. He's another big physical runner. And I tell you, the Giants all week long, you know, Larry's getting up there in years. You know, he's getting to that area in the career where a lot of people expect production from a running back to slow down. But Antonio Pierce, everybody on the defense, they were impressed the way he's been running. Hasn't had many opportunities.
Dwayne Bowe split to the right. Missed last week's game against Philadelphia with a hamstring injury. Johnson, first down for the Giants, 21.
You know, Moose, you talked about the Wildcat. People don't understand when you're back there and you got to get that snap from center. That's one thing. That's a big thing to have to worry about. Larry Johnson just wants to get the ball to run. He is running downhill right now. He's making holes. He's finding creases. Keep giving him the ball. I think Todd Haley's doing a great thing of keeping that run going and trying to find an identity for this team.
Johnson, 3 carries, 17 yards. First and 10 from the Giants, 21. It's Johnson again. Johnson to the 16-yard line. He gains 5 more.
He was tackled by C.C. Brown.
Each team has turned the ball over once. Gary Cofield remains on the sidelines. 2nd down and 5. Castle, a pump fake, and then Johnson. And a nice tackle. Danny Clark brings Johnson down. No gain on the play.
We talked about Kansas City trying to establish themselves as a running team. That's what the identity that Todd Haley wants to create. You see right there, 7-0. So we had one pass attempt that Matt Castle had to pull down and scramble with. But Todd Haley wants to run the ball. He thinks that that's the way successful teams are built, around that offensive line and the ability to run the ball into any type of defense.
3rd down and 5. Castle, a pump, now a throw to the end zone, and it hits off Michael Boley. Pass intended for Bobby Ingram.
Nice job by Larry Johnson in protection, giving Matt Castle an opportunity to get that ball downfield. Has to cross the formation to pick up Justin Tuck. Slows him down a bit. Bobby Ingram is beyond Michael Boley, but ball a little bit underthrown, running out of real estate down there in that short end.
Off the helmet of Boley, the rookie out of South Carolina, Ryan Suckup. out to attempt a 34-yard field goal from the right hash. Colquitt puts it down. Succop from 34. It is good. Back in Kansas City, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. A 6-play, 20-yard drive following the fumble by Manning off the sack by Tamba Hali. Ryan Succop hit from 34 yards out. And now he gets set to kick off. Sonoris Moss and Gartrell Johnson back deep for the Giants. Moss takes a knee. Giants will start from their own 20. Wouldn't you hate to have a problem with a contact lens right now?
If I did, I'd rather have a guy with smaller fingers working on me. My goodness.
Giants start from their own 20-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Manning out of the shotgun on first down. He pump fakes. Now he throws. Out of bounds, intended for Steve Smith. Eli's first incompletion.
Now let's set the table for something later on in this game. On that last field goal, Mathias Kiwanuka is going to come from the middle. I want you to watch right in here. The left guard keeps his head down along with the center. That left guard's got to pop up. Mathias Kiwanuka hops over. He's right there. Now, special teams coach Tom Quinn for the New York Giants, he saw that on film. If the Kansas City Chiefs didn't realize that he got that close and they don't make an adjustment, we could have a block kick later in this game.
Second and 10, Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs across the 30. Empty backfield.
There's Tamba Hali. He's the one who's been getting pressure today.
Manning's pass bounces away from Manningham. And then was nearly picked off before it hit the ground.
What I like from Kansas City right now, their defensive line, is they're not bringing 3 like we saw earlier. They're bringing 4 and 5, making Eli getting rid of that ball a little bit earlier. I don't know if it hurt the throw on this particular play, but it is affecting him, putting a little pressure in his face.
All 4 of Manning's completions have gone to Steve Smith. On second and 10, here's Jacobs up the middle to the 40. Gain of 5. Mike Brown made the tackle.
And that's what this Giant offense allows you to do. You can be aggressive on some play calling, because if you get caught in a situation, you can get yards back in your running game. And for Clancy Pendergast, that's going to be a big challenge. I mean, he understands how well this team can run the football. So you can see aggressive play calling on first down, because they know on second down they can come back, run the football, put themselves into manageable third downs.
First round pick, Hakeem Nicks in the game for the Giants. Missed the last 2. Nicks split to the right, 3rd down and 5. Manningham, he makes the catch. He juggled it and then able to gain control of the football for a Giants first down in Chiefs territory.
That's great concentration right there, Bruce.
Great quickness. The big thing for Mario Manningham is his quickness. Just a nice little release off the line of scrimmage. It gives him the separation from Brandon Flowers. You know, I thought it was going to be quickness just off the snap with his ability and his skill set, but kind of a nice designed release off the line of scrimmage to get him the separation from Brandon Flowers.
I think Flowers underestimated his speed. He beat him right off the line of scrimmage.
40,
backing up a little bit.
43-yard pass play. Ahmad Bradshaw now in the backfield for the Giants. First and 10 from the Chiefs 16. Penalty flag. The catch is made by Smith. He's tackled by Brandon Carr, close to a first down. Jerome Boger, our referee today.
Illegal shift, offense, number 84. The receiver did not get set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Tight end Darcy Johnson.
That means that you had a couple people come out. They were moving at the same time. So Darcy Johnson right now goes in motion, but that means that at the snap, that one of the receivers was not set, and he was still moving when Darcy Johnson started his motion. He has to see that, realize that, and then come to a complete stop before the snap.
Mark Bradshaw on first down and 15 runs right into the arms of Corey Mays. No gain on the play. 2nd and 15 upcoming.
I tell you, Tony, they're playing some good defense. That opening series, I agree with you. You know, the three-man front, you know, not a great start offensively, defensively, special teams, all three phases for the Chiefs, but a team that's really struggled a little bit this year. I've been impressed by their response. They haven't gotten down.
Yeah, Corey Mays makes a nice play on that call. They want to stop the run, though. If they want to try and make the Giants be one-dimensional and have Eli sit back there, they don't want to have them be able to go to the run and the pass.
Manning on 2nd and 15, picked off. It bounced away from Manningham. Brandon Flowers with his first interception of the season. Giants had not turned the ball over the last 2 games, 2 so far today.
Very uncharacteristic. The New York Giants, very well coached, don't beat themselves. Ball placement right now by Eli Manning. That's the second back shoulder throw to Mario Manningham. That one cost him.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Larry Johnson out to the 21. There's Manningham, who made that 43-yard reception earlier, juggled it, then caught it, and has had 2 other passes bounce away.
The other 2 were on back shoulders. The one that he caught for the big play, that's Mario. Mario's got to catch that clean. Very fortunate that he got a second opportunity. But you get down in the red zone, you let a ball come off your hands, off your back shoulder, and get up in the air, it's going to get intercepted.
So 3 first-quarter turnovers. Chiefs fumbled the opening kickoff. Giants have turned the ball over twice. Castle intended for Bowe, and that one was nearly picked off following the deflection. Bruce Johnson on the coverage. Dwayne Bowe, we mentioned earlier, back in the lineup, missed the Chiefs game last week due to a hamstring injury.
Well, it's all about the ability to work with your receiver as a quarterback. Matt Castle, this is really his 3rd game that he's going to play. He's got to get used to throwing to Dwayne Bowe. He was not in the lineup last week. And the same thing for Eli Manning and Mario Manningham. This is really their first season to get together and start throwing the ball. So the quickness, how they read things, getting in and out of breaks, it's an adjustment that they'll go through early on.
Empty backfield for the Chiefs. 3rd down and 10. Castle's pass is caught by the tight end Sean Ryan. Gain of just 4. So the Chiefs go 3 and out, and they will punt once again.
Go ahead, Goose.
Yeah, the Giants did a great job of going and bringing pressure right in Matt Castle's face. They brought their linebackers up, but they were on a delay. They didn't bring them up really early, and the offensive line struggled with covering everybody. Had a man come free.
And the other thing, Tony, is you bring pressure, but when the ball is delivered, the coverage is right there. I mean, it's right on him. They got somebody completely uncovered out here. Terrence Copper does not have anybody on him out to the right.
Colquitt's 2nd punt. Moss again letting it bounce. And it is down at the 29-yard line.
I really didn't think that Justin Tuck would play last week. I was very impressed that he was out there.
Tough man. He's a tough man.
Medical staff taking a look at Tuck's toe as the Giants start from their own 29. Off the play fake. Manning off his back foot. And the catch is made by the tight end, the rookie out of Wisconsin, Travis Beckham, who caught his first 2 balls in the NFL last week. Beckham gained 16. 60 degrees and sunny, not a cloud in the sky above Arrowhead Stadium as we begin the 2nd quarter. Giants lead the Chiefs 7-3. 1st and 10 from the 44. The give to number 44, Ahmad Bradshaw. And he is into Chiefs territory. Picks up a 1st down. Gain of 11.
He is very smooth, Goose. I mean, he never slows down when he's making his cuts.
I'll tell you what, he just gains momentum. Look at how he stops, goes, keeps his legs moving. What a great combination they have with Tuck and Bradshaw and Jacobs.
You could put Tuck back there. That'd be pretty impressive to
I'd like to see him on short yardage. That'd be fun.
Bradshaw 104 yards on the ground last week in Tampa. This is Bradshaw down to the 40. Gains 5. Mike Vrabel made the tackle.
You know what's tough about Bradshaw, Moose, is he's a shorter guy, and he gets behind those offensive linemen and just waits for them to go and latch onto somebody, and he has a great burst through the hole. I mean, he's a hard guy to find when you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker. He does such a great job. And he's got some smack talk, too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I tell you what, when you get up next to him, too, he's thick. He's not a little guy. He may seem little when he's standing next to Brandon Jacobs, but he's thick.
Is he fullback thick or running back thick?
He's a tweener. He can play some fullback.
Second down and 5. Giants must get to the 35. Oh, what a hit by Jared Page and a flag. Page with the hit on Steve Smith.
And unnecessary roughness on a defenseless receiver. Now they're really cracking down on this. Todd Haley's saying shoulder, but even shoulder doesn't work on a defensive receiver anymore, a defenseless receiver. It's head, shoulder, and forearm.
I think it's a UCLA-USC thing. Page out of UCLA, Smith USC.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense in the 44. 15-yard penalty on the night. First down.
I don't like that rule, Moose.
It's to the head, Tony. It's all about player safety. Now, Jared Page can come in and do that same thing, but he's got to take him in the chest. If he takes him in the chest, it's not a penalty. He got up around the head.
I don't know. I don't agree with that rule, because you got to have some kind of intimidation back there. Those defensive backs got the hardest job on the field going and covering those receivers. If they can't intimidate by hitting people the way they want, it can open things up for them.
From the 26, following the penalty, Smith makes the catch for the Giants touchdown.
No intimidation on that one, Moose.
Tony, I think you can still intimidate by putting your shoulder, your forearm through the chest. You can't go to the head. We saw the study released this week. The NFL admits that there's some issues with retired players in regards to head injuries. It's all about player safety. Now, you can't tell me that Jared Page backed off from that because of the play previously. He's just not in position this time. It's a well-designed play, and it gets a touchdown. He can intimidate, but he can't go to the head.
Yeah, I just things happen so fast that it's hard to go and determine where you're going to go and throw that shoulder.
Let's see, Goose on the defensive side did not like the call.
Tony Siragusa, you are absolutely right, and I was wrong. It was not in the head.
No, I do agree with you, Moose, about hitting a guy in the head, defenseless guy. But that shot right there, that's a clean shot. That's a clean. Jared Page came through. I mean, that was the officials are down there debating. You see Vrabel over there saying there's no way. They're going to go back, and the officials are going to send a letter over to the Kansas City Chiefs saying that they were sorry for that being a penalty.
There's Jamal Charles. Charles out to the 30. Chiefs will start from their own 30-yard line. Barry Cofield back in the game for the Giants. On first down off the play fake to Johnson. Castle was looking for Mark Bradley, and Castle took a hit. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
OCU and you're bringing the pressure on him. Matt Castle knows he could have had a big play right there. Just the pressure got to him.
Again, you know, this is only his 3rd game as the starter. He missed the opener. So this is only his 3rd time starting in the regular season for Kansas City. So his chemistry with his receivers is not going to be where it will be later this year.
15 starts for the New England Patriots last season. Castle on 2nd and 10. Good coverage by Bruce Johnson. Dwayne Bowe wanted a flag.
There it is again, Tony. I mean, you bring pressure. When the Giants bring pressure, they are still in tight coverage. Bruce Johnson battling with Dwayne Bowe on the outside. He might have had something there, but here comes that pressure.
Well, that's what those defensive backs know. They know that they're going to go and get the pressure up in the quarterback's face, and he's going to have to get rid of that ball early. So they tighten up that coverage up underneath. It's, you know, it's when that pressure doesn't come and you're bringing 4 and 5 and 6 guys that you know that double move or anything downfield is where the big play comes.
I think Dwayne Bowe is a little bit faster than Matt Castle thinks. He's been behind him twice.
Castle on 3rd and 10, dumps it off to Johnson, and Justin Tuck brings him down from behind. A a loss of 1 on the play. So the Chiefs, for the 3rd time today, go 3 and out.
What a great job by Justin Tuck, going and reading Matt Castle's eyes, seeing those offensive linemen coming out and beating them to the point, getting Larry Johnson down on the ground. Them offensive linemen, tell you what, they're not good salesmen sometimes, Moose.
No, not on that one.
Colquitt punting from his own 20. Terrific kick. Moss backpedals all the way to the 12. And then he's tackled by Terrence Copper after a 10-yard return, a 59-yard punt. Giants start from their own 23-yard line, leading the Chiefs 14-3. First down handoff, Brandon Jacobs. And Jacobs takes it out to the 30-yard line for a gain of 7.
He was tackled by Wallace. Gain 4 yards.
5 of Manning's 7 completions have gone to Smith, including 2 touchdown passes. First career 2-touchdown game for Steve Smith.
He just continues to put up numbers early in the season. The teams aren't adjusting to that yet. But these guys are so much in sync that they're tough to stop.
Second down and 3. Jacobs again cuts to the outside, has a first down, and stumbles at the 38-yard line. 7 3-0 teams, including the Giants. From the 40 on first down, Jacobs up the middle.
There you go.
And that's what we want to see. Lower that shoulder, running guys over. Instead of stopping, you know, where the guy hits you, go and get that hidden yardage, 2 yards.
Well, you talked about the hit on the on Steve Smith by Jared Page earlier, Goose, about, you know, intimidating and sending a message. This is the same thing on the offense. I mean, that's a defensive lineman that he just took down with him. That's Wallace Gilberry. He's a defensive end.
And just ran him over. That's what Brandon Jacobs is capable of doing.
Manning loads of time, and it's broken up by Flowers. Terrific play by Brandon Flowers, stepping in front of Mario Manningham.
Brandon Flowers one-on-one out here, man-to-man coverage. Nice job, step for step. As soon as he makes that break, did you see how he got his head around? Pick up the flight of the ball. That's great coverage. Eli Manning taps. Needed to get it out front a little bit more, give his guy a chance to make a play. Everybody talks about Manningham's quickness. I wonder if Eli Manning is having trouble adjusting to it. He's behind him quite a bit.
Manning on 3rd and 4. That pass intended for the tight end, Kevin Boss.
There's that 12th man you were talking about before, Goose.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's loud down here. I'm watching Eli to see if he's giving any hand signals, but no, he's going with the play that's called right now. Boss is a guy that I thought they would get more involved earlier in this game. Big target, a guy who can run afterwards, and the guy you don't want in your secondary, but hasn't been able to get the ball to him.
So Jeff Feagles will punt for the first time today, playing in his 340th NFL game. Feagles now tied with George Blanda for 3rd all-time. Fair catch is called for by Bobby Wade back at the 10-yard line. Giants with a 14-3 lead over the Chiefs. Aaron Rouse in the game at strong safety for the Giants. Signed last week after he was waived by the Green Bay Packers. Johnson found a hole. Now to the 24-yard line. Gain of 4.
I think Larry Johnson is one of those running backs where you just got to keep feeding him the ball. You know, he gets stronger and stronger. He wears that defense down. And I think it's been a tough adjustment for him this season, being in and out of the lineup so much.
Remember last week, Giants did not allow a first down in the first half at Tampa. Chiefs have only 1 first down so far today. On 2nd and 6, Castle loses the football. Giants say they have it. But the Chiefs able to recover.
Looks like Matt Castle almost pulls out a little bit too early. Doesn't get that ball. They're lucky to get that ball back, I'll tell you. Wow.
Goose, we've asked you before, what goes on at the bottom of the pile?
You know, the guys ask, how's the family doing, all that kind of stuff. Depends on whose pile's in it. You know, Kenny, anything can happen down in there.
Well, we know you've been down at the bottom many times.
Yes, I have.
Third down and 9. Chiefs must get to the 20 for a first down. Castle complete to Wade. But Antonio Pierce, along with Michael Boley, over to make the tackle, stopping Bobby Wade 3 yards shy of the marker. So for the 4th time, the Chiefs go 3 and out.
Moose, that's one thing maybe you got to school me on. Why wouldn't the receiver, if he's running a drag like that, run it where the sticks are so he knows that he's going to be closer to the first down? Why would he be so short on that play?
Well, a lot of things are done with route combinations to open things up. The ball can't always be thrown to the sticks. You've also got to have some plays designed for catch and run.
Colquitt punting from inside his own 10. Taken up the 37 by Moss. He breaks the first tackle attempt. And that is brought down by Thomas Gafford, the long snapper. By Bradshaw, first down. Bradshaw out across the 41 to the 42-yard line. Ron Edwards made the tackle after a gain of 4.
Get some good hustle down the line of scrimmage, Goose, for this Kansas City defense.
Yeah, they are. The linebackers also. Jared Page came in there a little late on that play, but they're doing a good job. Corey Mays looks like he got hurt hamstring or something like that.
On the punt. He did it on the punt.
Yeah.
Replaced by New York native Javon Belcher, an undrafted rookie out of the University of Maine. 2nd down and 6. Bradshaw stopped just shy of the 45-yard line by Mike Vrabel. Vrabel facing the Giants for the first time since the improbable Super Bowl victory by the Giants over the New England Patriots.
Mike Vrabel's just one of those guys who got a late flag down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 53. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Right now, it's been Mike Vrabel and his negotiating skills with the officials trying to get some of these points across.
And the flag was thrown on Demorial Williams, the former Falcon.
Let's see what happens here at the end of the run.
First and 10 New York at the Chiefs 40.
Bradshaw's been going at it all day long. Remember, he shoved Vrabel earlier.
Yeah.
And now involved with Williams.
Well, I think you try to get it separated and get the guys back to playing football. And it looks like Demorio didn't want to let it go, so he got the flag.
First and 10 from the Chiefs 40 following the penalty as Bradshaw takes it down to the 35-yard line, a gain of 5 again. Some jawing after the play between Ahmad Bradshaw and Demorial Williams.
Hey, Goose, you and I have both been a part of a 1-in-15 team, and when you're in one of those seasons, you have to realize that the officials are never going to side with your cause.
Never. You're never going to get the calls that you want. That's why I think Vrabel's all upset. He's used to, you know, when he's in New England, he'd never get a bad call against him or personal foul.
And the Chiefs, guys, 2-14 last year, off to an 0-3 start this season. Off the play fake, Manning, and the catch is made. The throw is a bit high, and this time Manningham, no, then he dropped it. He had it, and then dropped it. The head linesman, John Schleier, very emphatic with his call.
You got to worry about Mario Manningham's quickness. He gets Brandon Carr to turn. What a nice route in and out of his break. He's got to have possession all the way through the catch to the ground. Hands on, possession down to the ground.
I don't know, that was close.
That's close, yeah.
Looks like he has it all the way down to the ground, and then just at the end, he's getting ready to get up. But you got to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, well, Tom Coughlin's going to make him take another look at it.
Looks like Eli's really making a stance.
Giants coaching staff is challenging the rule on the field of an incomplete pass.
First challenge of the season by Tom Coughlin. The pass ruled incomplete on the field.
Well, take a look here now. You've got to maintain possession through the catch to the ground. I think he does that, and then Brandon Carr.
After reviewing the play, it has been confirmed it is an incomplete pass. The receiver did not maintain control of the football throughout the process of completing the catch. New York will be charged its first team timeout.
You know, Goose, you start to read too much into it. I thought maybe he had gone through the process of the catch and then was down by contact, and then the ball came out.
You know what, but as a receiver, you got to hold on to that ball. You can't put it in the officials' hands, Lewis, because you and me both know that we've seen some crazy stuff overturned.
So a 3rd down and 5 for the Giants. They must get to the 30 for a first down. Manning looking for Steve Smith.
Hey, Tony, they only rushed 3, but at least they had their backers walked up and gave the Giants offensive line something to think about.
They did. That's called smoke right there. Show them 5, 6, 7 guys, and then have everyone go back into coverage.
But it helps you get some one-on-ones up front. You know, if your guard doesn't have anything to worry about, he's going to pop right out and help your tackle. If he's got to sit in there and, hey, is Mike Vrabel coming on the blitz? Is he not? You know, he's got to hold in there longer. He can't get out to help.
Penalty marker as Wade makes the fair catch at the 6-yard line.
Illegal formation, kicking team. Number 53 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Brian Keel, so Feagles will do it again.
Yeah, and as good as Jeff Feagles is at directionally kicking, you know, this might sound good for Chiefs fans. Like, well, you know, at least it's not not gonna have 1st and 10 at the 6-yard line. Feagles might put you inside the 6.
Todd Haley telling his defensive lineman, as soon as you see Feagles' hands go up, to go. Feagles doesn't do it on that time, so Todd Haley was wrong.
Feagles punting from midfield, so instead of the 6, it will be the 8.
+2 positive yardage.
Goose, I know you'll be logging in to Coach Speak with Brian Billick on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Love menu.
Johnson, big hole, first down, Kansas City. 8 of 14.
Their offensive line has played a lot better this week than they did last week, Tony. We watched that Philadelphia tape, and there were guys free all afternoon.
You know what, Moose, but I think you were correct. You mentioned it earlier. You know, the more Larry Johnson gets the ball, the more confidence, the more timing he has with his offensive lineman, and the better he's running, and that's what we're seeing right now.
The second Kansas City first down. On the 24, it's Johnson again. This time gain of 2. Matthias Kiwanuka made the tackle.
And that's one of those situations right there that I think as Todd Haley tries to build this identity that, you know, we don't always have to audible out of a running situation when they have a blitz dialed up. And they had you can see the Giants at the snap, all of a sudden they've got a bunch of guys that walk in, and Matt Castle stands up, but he's not changing the play. You know, you give a dummy audible from time to time and just run Larry Johnson into that front. He might break that first wave and get some positive yardage.
Second down and 8. Castle to the tight end, Ryan. Michael Johnson, the free safety, coming up to make the tackle. No gain on the play, so a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Chiefs.
This screen game hasn't looked too good this afternoon, Tony. We get guys out front, and the offensive line have not gotten out there. I agree with you. They're not very good salesmen.
No, them linebackers and secondary ain't fooling them for the Giants.
Castle down 4 completions today, 4 for 8 for 9 yards. His longest completion last week, just 13 yards. They're down and 8. Castle over the middle. Bobby Ingram picks up a Chiefs first down. 18 yards, so Castle's longest completion over the last 2 weeks. Another Kansas City first down.
Tony, how athletic are the guys that are playing this game today? That's O.C. Umenyiora downfield in coverage. When you have talent like that, he's going to be way out here on the right side. Now, you drop a zone coverage, but very rarely do you put your defensive end in a man-to-man situation with the slot receiver. He's step for step.
And he was right there, man. I'm surprised he get a little hand on that ball.
Penalty markers prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the tight end Ryan. The previous play, the 18-yard pass, the longest offensive play for the Chiefs today.
You know what? They're mixing the ball up. They're mixing the pass, the run. They're getting a little bit of continuity I see down here on offense. Matt Castle's making some good throws. The offensive lineman, Moose, you mentioned it earlier, is playing a lot better than they have in the previous weeks. This team's getting better and better every week, I think.
First and 15, inside handoff, Johnson.
Larry Johnson, the ball
Johnson
carrier.
out to the 41, gain of 2.
Well, last week, when you play Philadelphia and you're going through this transition, Philadelphia can make you look bad. I mean, from a schematic standpoint, defensively, you can blow some assignments and look awful. And then offensively, with their speed and their multiple formations and the personnel, they can make you look bad there. I think that this is a much better matchup for a team that's at the stage that Kansas City is in. I think there's some really, really talented players on the Giants, but they're very, very different from what Philadelphia does.
Second down at 13. Castle under pressure, forced to throw it away. He saw both Kiwanuka and Boley coming. And Castle limping back out onto the field, Goose.
Yeah, it looks like he's limping a little bit. I don't know if it looks like his quad or something, but...
Third down and 13 from the 41-yard line.
You reach back, little left hammy.
He does have a brace on that left knee, so we'll keep an eye on that.
And that is why he did not play week 1 against the Ravens, the left knee injury. Third down at 13, high snap. Castle complete to Bradley. And Bradley is down at midfield, 4 yards shy of the marker. Gain of 9 on the play.
This Chiefs crowd wants him. They want him to go for it, but you've been battling uphill.
No.
Exactly. Play the field position game.
Penalty marker with the Chiefs offense on the field on 4th down.
False start, offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, too much.
Still 4th down.
Too much movement by Matt Castle. So that's all they were doing. They were trying to draw the Giants offside. It's 4th and 4. I don't know. Let's line up, punt the ball.
You got to know your opponent if you're going to do that.
Yeah,
These are the New York Giants.
Yes, very, very well coached. We've already talked to him about that. But watch how active Matt Castle is. There's number 7. Look with the hands. Hands in the head.
Colquitt back at his own 30. Sonoris Moss back deep for the Giants. There's a Chiefs roll. All the way down to the 13-yard line. 43-yard punt.
Todd Haley gets a little emotional sometimes on the sideline. He's a little upset about the call on Matt Castle.
Do you think the thought was to try and pull the Giants offside, or to actually run the play?
No. They were just trying to pull them off sides. It's 4th and 4, right, Goose?
Yeah, 4th and 4. You get a 5-yard penalty. It brings you to a first down. I don't think they were going to try and run a play against the New York Giants. I mean, that wouldn't have been a smart move.
They can't give the Giants the ball at midfield in this situation.
Yeah, especially in a 2-minute situation where I think that they're the best. Eli's the best inside of 2 minutes when they run that hurry-up offense.
Yeah, and 2 timeouts.
Right.
Giants lost 1 timeout on the challenge. So they have 2 from the 13-yard line. The draw to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw is close to a first down. Mike Brown. Second down and 1. Bradshaw again. Bradshaw has a first down. Gain of 5 out to the 28-yard line.
get that first down in this situation. Now you probably see Eli be a little bit more aggressive with his play calling, try and get the ball down the field a little bit now.
Oh, they're going to take a shot somewhere.
Manning's pass caught by Smith out of the 41-yard line. 6th reception for Steve Smith today.
Tackled by Gerald Hayes.
There's just a complete difference in the chemistry that Eli has with Steve Smith and what he has with Mario Manningham. I mean, the ball is just always placed in such a better position when it's thrown to Steve Smith than when it's thrown to Mario Manningham at this time. So they need more time together, Eli and Mario, to get to that same level of comfort that he has with Steve.
When those two get on the same page, Moose, this Giants offense is going to be dangerous with the speed of Mario out there.
Giants now with 1 timeout remaining from the 41 on 1st down. Wide open is Steve Smith at the Chiefs' 38-yard line. A 21-yard pass play.
How do you have that man so wide open in that situation?
Mike Brown kind of jumped on Kevin Boss. Kevin Boss was in the flat goose, and I think he got caught up in that.
Manning firing downfield. Manningham, the intended receiver, Brandon Carr, on the coverage.
Stride for stride coverage. Get your head back. Nice job, Brandon Carr. Find the flight of the ball. Get your hand on it. That's excellent. Excellent.
2nd and 10 from the Chiefs.
29 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Giants with 1 timeout remaining. Play clock winding down. Bradshaw. Penalty tackle just shy of the 30-yard line by Maurice Leggett. And now the Giants will use their final timeout with 20 seconds remaining. And the line of scrimmage, the 30.
Ahmad Bradshaw battled an ankle sprain all week. Says it's an old injury, an old high ankle sprain. I don't know. You watch him run, the way he plants and cuts. That might just be from how hard the amount of pressure he puts on his ankle joint.
Hey, he was on the sideline talking with Brandon Jacobs. I was wondering if he was going to go out. And he's going back in the huddle now.
Bradshaw and Jacobs both averaging 5.5 yards per carry today. 3rd down and 3. Giants out of timeouts. 20 seconds remaining. Manning, Kevin Boss. Boss down to the 6. Giants have to hurry. Eli spikes it with 3 seconds on the clock.
We've talked about the New York Giants being a well-coached team. Kevin Boss, he got hurt on that play. He got up and got to the line of scrimmage because there would be a 10-second runoff. They don't have any more timeouts left. Here's the catch. Now watch. He's going to be hurt when he gets down on the ground. You see him reach back right there. Now his team is running up, and they're going to get him up and get him lined up. Because if they have to have an injury timeout here.
So you could have hyper-expended that knee a little bit, Moose.
Very well coached team, the Giants. Very good at certain situations during the game.
25-yard attempt, Lawrence Tynes, who missed from 21 last week. It is good.
They are very efficient. They play well, but they have to start separating themselves from opponents such as Kansas City. Last week they won 24-0 against Tampa Bay. Could have been a little bit easier afternoon for them. So now it's about, oh, here we go.
An onside kick to begin the second half, and Brian Keel, it was Keel who recovered the fumble by Jamal Charles on the game's opening kickoff, and Keel again falling on the onside kick attempt.
Well, Todd Haley's he's not gonna hold anything in the bucket. He's gonna give it a run at it, and what a great job by Brian Keel seeing the difference in the approach on that kick by Ryan Suckup. So now, great field position for the Giants. And again, we're going to
covered by the kicking team. Please reset the game clock to 14:59. 14:59.
We're going to touch on this. We're going to go back and take a look at that scenario as it unfolded at the end of the first half. And again, it's situational football, knowing what to expect, being coached, the attention to detail that goes along with that. We've got two back-to-back plays, one to end the first half and one to start the second half, that show how well this Giant team is coached.
You saw Kevin Boss, credit Boss with a huge assist on the Giants field goal at the end of the first half. From the 42, this is Jacobs, and Jacobs is bottled up. Loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 11. Manning over the top to Smith, down to the 35. We'll take another look at the injury suffered by Boss, and under 2 minutes remaining and a half. If a team does not have any timeouts remaining and a player is injured and the referee assesses an additional timeout due to the injury, and the clock is running, as you said, there will then be a 10-second runoff, and there were less than 10 seconds remaining in the half.
So that organization, everybody knowing the rule and what they had to do, allowed the Giants to line up and kick that field goal and get those 3 points at the end of the half.
Attention to detail, Moose. That's exactly what that is.
Third down and 3. Manning's pass was deflected at the line.
And then the other thing is all week long, I'm sure the Giants staff, whether it's the defensive coaches or the special team coaches, talking to this team about trick plays, again, about gadget plays. And they come out and they start the second half with a surprise onside kick, and they're ready for that. So
Ron Edwards got his hand up, and now the Giants going for it on 4th down. Direct snap to Bradshaw, and Ahmad Bradshaw has a Giants first down.
Well, there's a little bit of that, let's put this thing away. It's one thing to be efficient, but let's start winning with a little bit easier time in the fourth quarter. Great sell by Eli Manning on a snap that looked like it went over his head. Gives Ahmad Bradshaw the opportunity to get outside. And you're in that area, it's going to be a 52, 53-yard field goal. Why not go for it on 4th down? You've been controlling the line of scrimmage the majority of the afternoon.
Kevin Boss back out on the field for the Giants. New set of downs. Jacobs up the middle, and a penalty marker is thrown.
Holding, offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
The left guard, Rich Seibert.
Well, every now and then, Moose, those offensive linemen get their paws out.
Sometimes your hand just gets caught in a jersey. It's very unfortunate. Like, right there, Rich's hand got caught in the jersey, of course, and it couldn't get it out.
Where do they stick with your offensive guys, man? Unbelievable.
From the 36-yard line on 1st down and 20, another flag as Giants look to set up the screen to Jacobs, but it did not fool John McGraw.
It would be interesting if this is illegal formation. I mean, it looked like they were punting on the right side of the line of scrimmage. How far back they were.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 67 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, 2nd down.
That's Kareem McKenzie, the right tackle. Chiefs declined the penalty because Jacobs lost 4 yards.
This looks like we're getting ready to punt right here. We got everybody back. We got the wing.
It looks like a slot in that formation right there. That's where you have to be. That's a little bit better. You see the linemen all right there on the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 24. Manning under pressure. He throws. The catch is made by Boss. Brandon Flowers makes the tackle at the 36-yard line after Boss picks up 4. So the Giants now facing a 3rd down and 20. Chiefs attempted an onside kick to begin this second half. Giants went for it on 4th down. Direct snap to Ahmad Bradshaw. He picked up the first, and now following a couple of penalties, 3rd down and 20. Giants must get to the 16-yard line. Manning's pass is caught by Smith at the 23. A 13-yard pass play. Giants will send in the field goal unit.
Tell you what, Steve Smith is taking some licks today, hasn't he?
He pops right up, too.
Wow. Right after he catches this ball, he turns and boom. Brandon Carr's right there to go and give him a hit.
So Tynes, who hit from 25 earlier, will attempt a 40-yard field goal from the left hash. Spent his first 3 seasons here in Kansas City. Tynes from 40. Giants lead the Chiefs 20-3. How about the day Steve Smith has had? 9 catches for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Giants with a 17-point lead as Tynes kicks off, taken at the 3 by Charles. And across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jonathan Goff, there he is, Goff. 17-point lead for the Giants. Chiefs on offense for the first time this half. Matt Castle only 6 completions in the first half. Chiefs 88 yards of offense, only 3 first downs. Came into the game ranked 30th on offense in the NFL. Number 24, Castle under pressure. Down he goes. Back at the 19-yard line.
All right, now when Antonio Pierce does this at the beginning of a play, so far this season, good things have happened. And you know, one of the things that Bill Sheridan has taken away is his ability to do that at the line of scrimmage, but he gets his front. He's such a good student of the game, and he does so much preparation that he knew what was going to come out of that shift, and he got Michael Boley into a position where he got turned free to the quarterback.
I think he was calling out the slide of the offensive line, Moose. That's what he does so good.
They forgot to tell Fred it was on, too.
Fred Robbins a bit over anxious.
Encroachment, defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Let's go back to last series. This is the play. Eli throws the ball to Steve Smith. Now, Moose, that right there, I would agree. If they threw the penalty on that, it was a blow to the head. They bring him to the side. They give him a little bit of smelling salts to wake him up. That was a blow to the head. That could have definitely been a penalty.
See how life evens out, Goose?
It does. It's a big circle.
On 2nd and 9, Castle taken down again. He lost the football. Justin Tuck with the pressure. Brian Waters, the left guard, recovers.
Well, they've actually gotten more opportunities today to pressure the quarterback than I thought they were going to, and they're finally starting to get there. But this is one of the things that Tom Coughlin wanted to see his team get better at, was getting to the quarterback when they dialed up some pressure. Heads up play by Brian Waters.
Larry Johnson does a good job of going and picking up a blitzer, but he can only hold on so long.
Antonio Pierce is getting him moved around again, Goose.
Castle on 3rd and 18, complete to Bradley. And Bradley is stopped about 8 yards shy of the marker by Kevin Dockery, returning for the Giants today. Missed the first 3 games with a hamstring injury.
Well, that's the impressive thing about this Giants pass defense is, you know, without Kevin Dockery, without Aaron Ross, their 2 starting corners, they sit as the #1 pass defense in the NFL. And they really haven't gotten home as much in their pressure package as Tom Coughlin and Bill Sheridan would like. But I tell you, they've had a couple of guys, Terrell Thomas, Corey Webster, have stepped in, done a great job. Bruce Johnson. Oh, my goodness.
What a punt by Colquitt.
Soros Morris couldn't even find it.
It is down at the 15-yard line by Comper. Back in Kansas City. Just under 8 minutes remaining third quarter. Again, the NFL supporting National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Look at the pink cleats being worn by a number of players, and members of the NFL Referees Association will donate a portion of their game pay to breast cancer charities throughout this month of October. Giants start from their own 15-yard line. Manning on 1st and 10, handing it off to Jacobs, and Jacobs picks up a first down. Brandon Jacobs all the way out to the 31.
You know, we've had 3 nice runs by Brandon Jacobs in this game, and every time he has a nice run, we can't talk about it because we go to a break.
Sure, blame it on Kirk. From the 32, Brandon will have to do it again. Up the middle, across the 35-yard line, he gains 4.
They're the runs right there that I like. He's in the backfield, he sees the hole, and he goes and explodes and accelerates through it. You know, the ones where you have the big hole, Moose, you know this, they're easy to go and get 5, 10 yards on. It's when there's nothing there and you make something. He's big enough to go and make holes where there are any.
How would I know that?
Because I know you've gotten the ball once or twice, haven't you?
There's never been a big hole. I've never had the blocking come clean.
You always had to go and put that head down and go and ram somebody and make a hole for somebody, right?
Usually trying to make the hole. 2nd down and 6. Play action. Manning, complete. Guess who? Steve Smith in Chiefs territory. His 10th reception. A Giants first down, a gain of 19.
Watch Steve Smith work his way across the field through the zones in this coverage. Here we go, here we go. Now Eli's got a guy right in his face, and he's coming through 2 or 3 windows before he can get the ball. That is tough to defend right there. I mean, Mike Vrabel is affecting the throw, and Eli can get it to that window right as Steve Smith comes into it.
Smith also had 10 receptions against Dallas 2 weeks ago. 10 catches, 2 touchdowns so far today. There's number 11. Down to the 32-yard line, a gain of 8. Well, many Giants fans during the offseason wondered who was going to step up with Plaxico Burress and Amani Toomer no longer members of the Giants. In fact, Toomer was in training camp here in Kansas City with the Chiefs. And 2 weeks ago, it was both Smith and Manningham. 10 catches apiece in Dallas, and Smith, another terrific game today. Second down and 2. This time Manning was looking for Manningham.
You know, we talked about Steve Smith. We got a chance to meet with him last week. What a great dynamic guy. I mean, he's just a very calm, collected. This is what I'm doing. I'm, trying to get better each week. Very soft-spoken, something that me and you, Moose, aren't really used to when we talk to those wide receivers.
No, he's got a very different personality than most of the wide receivers around the NFL. Who are the go-to guy? The guy that the quarterback has the most confidence in.
Third down and 1. Manning to Kevin Boss. Manning saw Mike Brown in his face. He was able to get rid of it, and Kevin Boss picks up 8. Another Giants first down.
Well, this is the second one this drive where Eli Manning has had pressure right in his face. Just able to buy a little bit of time and get that throw.
Third reception for Kevin Boss today. A 1st and 10 from the Chiefs' 28. Smith split to the left, Manningham to the right. Bradshaw in the backfield. Into Bradshaw. And Ahmad takes it down to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
He was tackled by Ron Edwards. Gaining 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 from the 25-yard line.
Oh, he's got to get that mouthpiece in there. Someone's got it. He must have substituted too quick.
He only wears it more short yardage, I think.
There it is.
That's extra protection for him.
He's got to tell him. It's not for the teeth, it's for the concussion.
Maybe he has 2.
You'll be over there getting smelling salts with Steve Smith.
Manning 7 straight completions. And pass intended for Hakeem Nicks. First-round pick out of North Carolina. Missed the last 2 weeks with a foot injury.
Eli not happy with that pass. I guess he thought his receiver was not in the place where he should be. You always tell that when Eli goes back to the huddle, he shakes his head. But one thing he does, he just moves on to the next play.
I think there's an adjustment at the top of that route, Tony, where Hakeem Nicks needed to stop and come out of that break, kind of that back shoulder throw, and he kept running.
Manning rolling right on 3rd down and 7. The catch is made by Boss, but he's knocked out of bounds by Vrabel, shy of the first down marker by 2 yards.
That was an awkward fall, too. Kevin Boss trying to spin back inside and has Mike Vrabel roll up on that. There goes the right knee and the right ankle.
So Lawrence Tynes, who is 2 for 2 today, out to attempt a 38-yard field goal from the right hash. Eagles puts it down. And Tynes this time wide to the right. There's Lawrence Tynes, who just missed a 38-yard field goal attempt. Giants continue to lead 20-3 as the Chiefs start from their own 29-yard line. 8 of 3, Jackie Battle. 3rd down and 7, Larry Johnson. And Johnson picks up a first down out across the 40 to the 42, gain of 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a kicker and you got to go through that many different shoes to find out which one works for you.
Maybe he has a shoe,
A shoe fetish? You're gonna go shoe fetish? You going that way?
Something. Maybe he just likes shoes.
Jeez Louise. Man, Goose.
Either that or he has a story like here in Kansas City, coming back to his former hometown. Johnson to the 45. Goose, we've seen you go on shopping binges in certain cities.
Yes, I do like to give back, Kenny.
Help out the economy.
Hey, listen, you got to boost it up some way.
Like Green Bay or Charlotte or wherever we might be on a given weekend.
You know, there's stuff you can't get back in New Jersey. You got to go to these faraway places. Nice cheese in Green Bay and Kansas City. I'm bringing home some rib sauce. Start it up a little bit.
Lawrence bringing home some shoes. 2nd down and 7. Castle to the outside. Pass intended for Ryan Terrell Thomas on the coverage.
I think Terrell Thomas thought that he had this one. He reads it, boom, plants, watch him come back real quick, boom, he sees it. Oh.
Did it go through his hands?
Right through his hands. He read that perfectly and just missed it. I think he didn't bring his feet quite with him. A little elevated throw, but the other ones in a game, you only get one opportunity like that in a game. Usually lose to go and get a pick.
Terrell Thomas, a teammate of Matt Castle at USC, as was Steve Smith, although Castle never started a game in college. Castle under pressure. Back at the 34-yard line, down he goes. Osi Umenyiora with the Giants' 3rd sack.
Well, the 3 guys that get off this pile, I mean, when you got Mathias Kiwanuka, Justin Tuck, and Osi Umenyiora, as part of your front, I mean, that's pretty tough to block. Yeah, and number 72, I know he dropped one time to cover a wide receiver in a zone blitz scheme, but if you're Brandon Albert, the left tackle, check him first, just to make sure he's not dropping that time.
No relation, by the way. Colquitt punting from his own 25. Moss on the run.
Oh,
big collision. Moss tackled at the 33-yard line. Giants looking to win their 3rd straight on the road, something they accomplished during the playoffs 2 seasons ago. Lead the Chiefs 20-3. 25 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. From the 34-yard line. Madison Hedgecock, the fullback. There is a flag. Hitchcock out to the 43-yard line, his first reception of the season.
Are they going to call it back, Moose? Because I know you're excited he caught the ball.
Yeah, it's coming back. Absolutely. I thought it was. Maybe it's not. I thought they were going to call offensive holding.
Maybe they saw that it was Madison. They don't want to call it.
There is no foul on the play for holding. The player was pushed down. The result of the play is a completed catch.
So
Second down.
it is a reception for the fullback. We start the fourth quarter in Kansas City. Giants leading 20-3. Manning's attempt is behind Mario Manningham, 3rd down and 1.
Covered by Brandon Carr.
Beautiful day in Kansas City, 63 degrees and sunny. Deuce a lot happier down in the field today than he was in the rain in Tampa last week.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were getting. Rain. It was rain, wind. I think there was hail at some point. Yeah, I like this weather a lot better, Kenny.
Third down and 1, Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs, the ball
It will
carrier.
depend on the spot. Alex McGee made the tackle.
McGee.
And Jacobs does pick up the Giants' first down.
First and 10 Giants from the New York 45.
Giants looking to go 4-0 for only the 6th time in franchise history. Giants started 4-0 last year, and then a game Tom Coughlin referred to this week. They lost in Cleveland, 35-14.
Well, he drew a lot of parallels from last season to this week to get his team prepared to play Kansas City. So, you know, recent history, you know, shows, and it's every Sunday. I mean, if you come out and you don't play up to your potential, you have a great chance of getting beat. And, you know, unfortunately right now for Kansas City, as they're going through this transition, you know, they have to play perfect, and when they play a team like the Giants, they're going to need a little bit of help, but they got some of that. You know, they got 2 turnovers from New York, but just the way they started, fumbling that opening kickoff and falling behind 7-0 so quickly, it's hard for a young team in that situation to get out.
Second down and 9. Off the play fake. Manning going deep for Smith, and Smith unable to make the catch. Brandon Carr on the coverage.
What happened to Eli on that?
He got hit pretty hard on that. I think he got rolled up.
No. It didn't look like there was anybody around him. It was weird. Yeah, he did it on his plant. There's nobody around him. Oh boy, I tell you, is he reaching for his Achilles?
I don't know.
I mean, there was nobody around him. Oh, they better keep an eye on that.
Eli making his 75th consecutive start. 3rd down and 9. Hakeem Nicks. Nicks across midfield, has a first down and more. Nicks, what a move into the end zone for the touchdown, his first in the NFL.
As nice as that play was, all the attention on the Giants sideline is at Eli Manning walking off the field. You know, in a potentially 27-3, we're not going to see Eli anymore. Darcy Johnson, nice job outside, and then Hakeem Nicks, just a nice run after a catch. Terrible angles by the Kansas City defense.
So Hakeem Nicks, who set a school record in North Carolina with 21 career touchdowns, on his 3rd NFL reception, reaches the end zone.
Eli Manning on the sideline. He's got shoe, sock, everything off, walking barefoot. The good news is I did see him get up onto the ball of his foot, so that means that he can get up and extend. Now we're gonna go back and show you the replay from behind, and you'll be able to see why there's going to be a lot of concern for Giant fans.
Jamal Charles on the return, and Tynes makes contact. The kicker Charles finally down. The report is a bruised heel. Eli Manning on the Giants sideline, receiving medical attention. Chiefs following the big return, start from the Giants 48-yard line. Penalty flag as Larry Johnson picks up a first down and more. C.C. Brown finally wrestles him down. The ball came loose.
Got stripped at the end of the run. I think it was Justin Tuck offside, so the run should stand, and Kansas City was able to get it back. Well, Goose, if they're doing anything good, they're winning a lot of those battles at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, they are, getting that ball back.
Offside, defense, number 91. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down for Kansas City.
That's that free play, Moose.
C.C. Brown at the end of the run, working on that football, getting it out. And even if Kansas City hadn't recovered it, they would have still had possession because Justin Tuck was offsides.
Johnson gained 19 as the Giants medical staff continues to work on the right foot of Eli. Again, bruised heel is the initial report. Johnson wrapped up immediately by Michael Boley.
Go back and take a look at Eli in the pocket, and it's going to be on the plant as he turns around to plant. And that right foot goes back. Now watch him pick that foot up right as it plants. Now I guess that could be a bruised heel. I don't know what he would have bruised it on. My concern is anything to do with that Achilles tendon as he got back and it kind of stretched a little bit too far. Hopefully it is just a bruised heel.
And then on the very next play also, he just stood flat-footed when he threw that one pass.
And it went for a touchdown, Goose, on 2nd and 12. Castle looking for Mark Bradley. We mentioned Eli has started 75 consecutive games. He has never missed a start since taking over for Kurt Warner during the 04 season. Only a fellow by the name of Brett Favre and his brother Peyton have longer streaks at the quarterback position. Favre has started 272 consecutive games. Peyton today against the Seahawks starting his 180th consecutive game. Third down and 12. Chiefs must get to the 19. Castle looking for Dwayne Bowe. Too far ahead.
He's had a couple opportunities today. He missed Mark Bradley earlier in the game on a potentially big play and misses this one here, Dwayne Bowe. And Dwayne Bowe is somebody that we felt might be able to provide some mismatch opportunities for Kansas City. He's had 3 balls thrown his way, but hasn't been able to come up with a catch yet.
So on 4th and 12 from the 30, Todd Haley will leave his offense out on the field. Castle's pass complete to Ingram.
Oh, great effort, Bobby Ingram.
Nice.
Come on, move that ball forward. Half a yard short.
Ingram not pleased with the spot.
Todd Haley's gonna challenge it.
I think that was a horrible spot, Moose. I think he got the first down.
Coaching staff is challenging the rule on the field of forward progress.
Let's take a look at it.
Well, they're talking about forward progress, so let's see where you think it stops, Tony. Oh, he's well beyond
the line.
Well, the question is now those back feet when they went out of bounds. Was he out of bounds with his feet before he reached forward?
After reviewing the play, the football is being moved forward to the 18.5 yard line, which results in a first down for Kansas City. Kansas City will not be charged for timeout.
So Todd Haley wins the challenge. Ingram did pick up the first down.
Yeah, it's a great effort by Bobby Ingram. And the one thing I was nervous about was, did his foot go out of bounds? But it did not. He was actually knocked out of bounds in the air by Antonio Pierce as he came from the inside out. So
That's just great awareness on Bobby's. Knowing where you're at, knowing where you got to get to. Great job.
Ingram, a 14-year veteran. Spent the last 8 years in Seattle. First and 10 from the Giants, 18. Castle to Johnson. And Michael Boley, we've called his name on numerous occasions today. Boley makes the tackle.
We'll go back to that play that Bobby Ingram made, and what Todd Haley has done, he's brought in some veterans from around the league that have some experience with some very good organizations. You see New England, Bobby Ingram from Seattle, part of their Super Bowl team. A lot of ties to Chicago Bears, so he's got some good veteran guys to help out the younger players in the locker room to understand what it takes to be a professional, and that's doing things right all the time.
Second and 12. That one is bobbled and dropped by another former Chicago Bear, Bobby Wade. There's a flag on the field. And Haley was the wide receivers coach in Chicago from 2001 to 2003, so he was around a number of those guys, as well as Leonard Pope in Arizona.
And Scott Pioli, with his ties back to New England as the GM.
Pass interference, offense, number 89. That penalty is declined. Third down.
That's on the tight end, Sean Ryan. Giants declined the penalty. Third down and 12.
Sean Ryan, number 89, releasing as the tight end. And I don't like that call because
there's no hands extended or anything. He just ran into the guy.
Chiefs must get to the 9-yard line. Castle over the middle. Terrell Thomas breaks it up. Pass intended for Bobby Ingram.
Got to go for it again, Moose, on this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what, Tony? Yeah, one of the things that Tom Coughlin wanted his team to improve on today was their pressure. They've gotten there a couple of times today, but virtually running a very similar scheme to what Philadelphia ran last week when there was a lot of protection issues. This offensive line has done a pretty good job, a much better job than last week, protecting Matt Castle.
Fourth down and 11.
Here they come again.
Castle gets rid of it, and the catch is made for a first down. First catch today for Dwayne Bowe.
You know, Moose, you talked about that offensive line, but they brought 8 defensive guys on the blitz on that particular play, and they got it summed up and got the pass off. Nice job on Matt Castle.
First and goal from the 8. 3 wide receivers, Bowe split to the right. Ingram in the slot. Larry Johnson inside the 5. Down to the 1-yard line. Keep in mind, guys, the Giants have not allowed a touchdown over the last 7 quarters. Felix Jones of the Cowboys with a 4th quarter touchdown 2 weeks ago. They shut out Tampa Bay last week. Have held the Chiefs to just a field goal so far today. Second and goal from the 1. Off the fake to Johnson. Castle fires, penalty marker, broken up by Boley. Chiefs had Mike Vrabel as an eligible receiver.
Antonio Pierce did an unbelievable job of going and playing Matt Castle, staying between him and the goal line.
Defense, number 52. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I mean, how many times have we seen Mike Vrabel up in New England down on the goal line, slip out and catch touchdown passes?
And that is who Boley grabbed hold of. Mike Vrabel in his career, including the postseason, 10 receptions, all 10 have gone for touchdowns. Vrabel remains on the field. First and goal from the 1. Castle looking, he throws, and the catch is made for a touchdown by Sean Ryan. Second touchdown of the season for Ryan. Chiefs will go for 2. Two-point conversion would make it a 2-possession game. Play blown dead.
False start, offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, redo the try.
That's Ryan, who just scored the Kansas City touchdown.
I'm interested to see if Kansas City makes this 2-point conversion and does make it a 2-possession game, what they do on the kickoff. You know, I think it all kind of hinges on whether Eli Manning is ready to come out. They've got 3 timeouts left, and we're at 9:26.
This time looked like Dave
I think they're going to get
flagged.
Brian Waters. No, I don't think so. He had time to get. He didn't induce him. They got lucky. See, I think that could have gone on Brian Waters just as easily.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. We're still playing the try.
Brian Waters did a nice job of selling it, Moose. It's all in the cell.
Yeah, but he was not influenced to come off. Look, he's outside like that.
I think he moved a little bit as soon as Tollefson moved.
You a salesman, Tony? You know all the.
Oh, you got to sell it, baby. That's part of the deal. Used cars, baby.
Hassel on the 2-point conversion attempt, and he is brought down at the 1-yard line. A look at Eli Manning, who suffered the bruised heel earlier. David Carr will replace Manning as the Chiefs line up to attempt their second onside kick of the half. And the Giants now call timeout. Chase Blackburn calling the timeout. And the Giants will huddle with special teams coach Tom Quinn. Three touchdown passes today for Eli Manning, and then on the play prior to his last touchdown pass, suffered the bruised heel. Suck up, sends it deep. So no onside kick attempt this time. And the Giants, who lead by 18, will send out David Carr, who came into the game last week in the second half in Tampa with the Giants winning big. Carr, the former first overall draft pick by the Houston Texans, started 75 games for Houston, 4 starts for Carolina as well. And he will replace Eli Manning here in the fourth quarter. Look at Carr's career numbers. Brandon Jacobs in the backfield along with the fullback Hitchcock. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Carr hands it off to Jacobs. And Mike Vrabel makes the tackle. Gain of just 1.
Well, we've talked a lot this afternoon about what's happened in Kansas City, and just to kind of get you up to speed of all the changes that have gone on. New GM, new head coach, 26 new players into training camp, and one of the 3 teams that changed offensive coordinators right before the season. And just this week alone, a lot of changes. You look down at the bottom, Ryan O'Callahan starting at right tackle. They've had 4 different guys try and hold down that position through training camp and into the regular season.
Carr looking for Steve Smith. 3rd down and 9 upcoming. Tyler Thigpen traded to Miami earlier this week. Thigpen started 11 games at quarterback for the Chiefs last year. Dolphins, of course, losing Chad Pennington for the season. Todd Haley grew up around the Pittsburgh Steelers. His dad, Dick, a longtime director of player personnel during the 70s and the 80s in Pittsburgh. Now the player personnel analyst for the Dolphins. Chiefs making the trade with the Dolphins earlier this week. 3rd down and 9. And that pass is broken up by Brandon Carr. Intended for Hakeem Nicks. So the Chiefs, they got the ball back. And Todd Haley, during his youth, a water boy, ball boy for Terry Bradshaw's Steelers. Also worked as a film assistant, worked as a member of the chain gang. He's done just about everything as far as football is concerned.
Done it all.
I think over time he'll be successful here in Kansas City. He just needs to bring in some players that know how to win and know what it takes to win here, Bruce.
Feagles punting to Bobby Wade. Takes it out to 32. 8-yard return up to the 40. At Philadelphia last week, Giants today, Dallas next week, and then they visit Washington. 4 straight games for the Chiefs against the NFC East. On the 41-yard line. Castle complete to Johnson. Corey Webster
Castle's pass.
shoving Johnson out of bounds.
Michael Boley out on the outside again. I'll tell you what, whenever he goes and lines up outside the tackle, it just seems that no one even blocks him. The pressure that he brings on is unbelievable. Here he is down at the bottom of your picture. I mean, he's scot-free. They don't even roll to him, nothing. They have no one to account for him, and you got to get rid of the ball early, and Matt Castle exactly what he does.
Second down and 7. Castle with time over the middle. Off the fingertips of Bobby Engram. So 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Chiefs.
3rd and 7 from the 43.
Antonio Pierce directing everybody around, almost gets himself right into the exact right spot. Upset with himself that he wasn't able to bring in that deflection.
Empty backfield. Chiefs must get to the Giants 49. Castle takes off, and he has a 1st down. Castle, a terrific athlete. He was drafted by the Oakland A's, showing his scrambling ability as he picks up 12 yards.
A good quick decision by Matt Castle. They brought pressure right up the middle. It was picked up, but as soon as he stepped up to buy himself a little bit of time, he saw how wide open the center of the field was.
From the 44-yard line, Johnson is met in the backfield. Again, it is Boley, his 5th tackle today.
I don't think they've blocked him yet, Michael Boley. I mean, he's just right on Larry Johnson. Unblocked again. Maybe they don't see him. Maybe he's invisible out there to them. I don't see any camouflage on him, Moose.
Well, you know, I don't like that play call, Tony, into a defense that likes to bring pressure in between the guard and center gaps on both sides, because that's the potential of what can happen. You can't account for him on that play.
Loss of 5, 2nd down and 15. Castle over the middle, and the catch is made by Sean Ryan. The penalty marker is Ryan. Takes it all the way down to the Giants' 6-yard line. A 44-yard pass play. But remember, there is a flag.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 58. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Well, I think that the Kansas City fans are just excited to see this style of football being played at this stage of the game. Because last week against Philadelphia, when they got into this situation, they got very conservative and just ran the football. And I think that had a lot to do with how poorly they were protecting Matt Castle throughout the game. There's a lot more confidence in their protection. They've done a nice job today, so they can be more aggressive with their play call.
Longest completion of the season for Castle. 1st and goal from the 6. Castle pump fakes. He throws. And the pass intended for one of the newest Chiefs, Leonard Pope, signed this week. Spent the last 3 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, he just signed this week, so Matt Castle will realize that Leonard Pope is very, very tall. And when you get down to the red zone, one of the things you want to do is get the ball up and around him, not out in front low.
6'8". Played in the Super Bowl for the Cardinals last season.
Looks like another tackle lining up out there.
Big man.
Penalty markers on 2nd and 6.
False start, offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's amazing because when the Chiefs are on offense, I mean, you can hear a pin drop down on this field compared to when they're on defense. And the Giants have the ball, the crowd is going crazy. So Albert should be hearing the signal from Matt Castle. There's no reason for him to jump off sides.
I heard the signal, Goose.
Oh, you heard it all the way up there in the booth.
Talking about Brandon, right?
Yes.
Lenny Albert didn't move up here.
Second
I
and
saw
goal.
Lenny flinch.
And Castle's passes batted and then nearly picked off by Fred Robbins. Justin Tuck with the deflection. Robbins thought he had it.
Fred was already looking to go and wondering which way do I run to the end zone. You watch him right here down at the bottom. He's looking to get go. Man, he wants that so bad. And big guys don't get opportunities like that very often.
Now 3rd and goal, just over 6 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Castle's pass nearly intercepted, this time by Michael Boley.
That was not Matt Castle's fault right there. Larry Johnson just quit on the route. He was moving to the outside. Matt Castle saw him going. He's got to just keep running to the outside. He just stops. And Boley gets an opportunity to almost make a pick. We talk about it all the time, Lewis. You got to finish, right? It's all about finishing.
Once you make a commitment to make a move in a direction with your quarterback, you have to keep going that way because the ball's going to come out.
Chiefs 2 for 2 on 4th down today. 4th and goal from the 11-yard line. Castle to the end zone, intended for Dwayne Bowe. There's a flag. His teammate at LSU, Corey Webster, on the coverage.
Ooh.
Pass interference, defense, number 23. The foul occurred in the end zone, so the ball will be placed at the 1st down, at the 1-yard line, 1st down.
Top of the screen, man-to-man. Dwayne Bowe versus Corey Webster. Face mask. He got his hand on the face mask. I guess that's what they're calling pass interference. Could have been hands to the face with a face mask.
1st and goal from the 1. Castle's pass is low, intended for Johnson.
They've thrown a ball a lot, Goose, when they've got down tight to the goal line.
Yeah, they have. I'm really surprised. You got Larry Johnson back there. Let him go in there and pound it out a little bit. Quarterback sneak with Matt Castle. I mean, you got some different options.
Second and goal. Johnson. Michael Boley again, along with Antonio Pierce.
I don't like this play call at all. You got Larry Johnson in the backfield right here. You got Antonio Pierce, has no one to block in both linebackers. I mean, you're going to run a draw with no one blocking the second level to your linebackers? That's impossible. I don't know why you would even call that play.
You got to have it with a check at the line of scrimmage, where if you come up and you get the wrong look, you can get out of it. Since you spread the field and nobody respected that, then you've got to throw the ball.
3rd and goal from the 1. Castle looking end zone. He throws incomplete, intended for Bobby Wade.
I don't know, Moose. I agree with you. I don't like this shotgun look down here on the goal line. Get up underneath.
Wait, Tony, what do we talk about at the top, though? I mean, Todd Haley wants this to be a running football team. That's what he wants the identity to be, and yet he's gotten down inside the 5, and the play calling has all gone to spread sets and inside draws.
And you're on the 2-yard line. You got 4 plays to get to the end zone. You got to pound the ball.
And confusion, guys, as far as personnel. The Chiefs had players running on, running off, and Todd Haley is forced to use a timeout. This series for the Chiefs, 6 goal-to-go plays, -6 yards. They were helped out by the penalty on Webster in the end zone. Chiefs send in Jackie Battle along with Larry Johnson in the backfield. Ingram split to the left. Wade in the slot. Bowe split to the right. 4th and goal from just outside the 1. The fake to Johnson. Castle looking, lobs it up, and a diving catch in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown is made by Bobby Wade.
That is all Matt Castle. That was just a great individual effort, because that play was dead in the water. This is just a great individual effort. That little miss right there, floating into the back of the end zone to a spot where Bobby Wade could go get it with pressure in your face. Matt Castle, that's a heck of a play.
Great catch also by Bobby Wade.
Succop adds the extra point. Remember, the Chiefs missed a 2-point conversion earlier, so this time they kick, and the Giants lead is cut to 11. War paint, old tradition here in Kansas City. The Giants go 7 quarters without allowing a touchdown, and then the Chiefs reach the end zone twice in under 5 minutes. This is unique. Look at John McGraw.
Very unique. Wow. He's going to lose a finger.
Steve Smith. He's been in the right place at the right time all game long. He fields the onside kick attempt by Ryan Succop.
Yeah, but he does a great job fielding the kick, but it was his guys up front that kept everybody off of him.
Smith now has 34 receptions over the first 4 games, 11 today. The Giants' record, believe it or not, is 13 by Tiki Barber. Giants' record by a wide receiver is 12 receptions in 1 game by Amani Toomer. Brandon Jacobs. Hard to bring down. Jacobs gains 5 to the 40.
And it's nice to see Steve Smith evolve into this position. You know, he created a niche for himself with Amani and Plaxico as the Giants' 3rd receiver, worked the slot, did some different things, but now having to step into that role, and he has become more of a household name than the original Steve Smith down there in Carolina. And I'm sure there's probably some people that got their fantasy draft back and said, I got Steve Smith. Oh, outstanding. You know, the guy from Carolina? No, the guy from New York. Steve Smith from New York.
Carolina off this weekend. So the Giants, Steve Smith adding to his totals. He led the Giants in receptions last year with 57 as Eli watches from the sideline. Remember, as a rookie, he had 5 catches in the Super Bowl. He went over New England. Coming into this game, only Randy Moss had more receptions in the entire league this season than Smith. 2nd down and 6. Jacobs down to the 37. So we've talked throughout the afternoon about some of the comments you guys made last week about Brandon Jacobs in the game against Tampa, but has been running with power all game long here in Kansas City.
He really has, and he hasn't stopped his feet. You know, he hasn't been looking for the back door, but when it's been there, he's gotten to it in a continual movement, and that was one of the things we saw last week. And I think what happened was sometimes when you're watching a team on film and Tampa Bay's linebackers are undersized and they run to the ball very, very quickly, that all of a sudden you get in your head, hey, you know, this week when I get the ball, I got to have, you know, out of the corner of my eye, keep a look on that backside and see if I can get there. This week, because of the way that Kansas City plays defense, you know, Brandon was going to be able to focus more on the play side. I talked to him before the game. He was excited to have a nice afternoon, and he really has. He's had some really nice runs today.
4th down and 3. Carr in trouble. Down he goes. Back at midfield, David Carr sacked by Mike Brown, the longtime Chicago Bear.
Nice timing. Mike Brown right up there on the line of scrimmage, kind of gets lost. Ahmad Bradshaw running past and hoping to get that pass out there quick, but not enough time for David Carr to get it off.
We welcome those of you who have just joined us here in Kansas City. Kenny Albert, Daryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. New York Giants led the Kansas City Chiefs earlier in this 4th quarter, 27-3. Matt Castle has thrown 2 touchdown passes. It's now 27-16, and the Chiefs are going to get the ball back. The punt by Feagles into the end zone. Eric Hagan tried to keep it out. So the Chiefs will start from their own 20. 3 touchdown passes for Eli Manning, 2 to Steve Smith, but Eli suffered a heel injury early in this 4th quarter. Career high 11 receptions for Smith, and the Giants over 400 yards of total offense.
Man, until these last few drives by Kansas City, the Giants defense absolutely dominated this game, and we'll keep you updated on Eli Manning's status. Tony Siragusa is going to get a chance to talk to him after this game.
And now Matt Castle and the Chiefs go to work from their own 20-yard line as Castle takes off out of bounds after a gain of 7 out to the 27-yard line.
The big concern that we had when Eli got hurt is there was nobody around him. And you'll see on this play action, as he extends back to set his feet, his right foot will go down, and then you'll see him just kind of pull that up. And then has no push off it when he goes to throw. Now, they ran one more play after that. Eli basically caught a shotgun snap, didn't move his feet at all, threw it out to Hakeem Nicks, who took it the distance for a touchdown, and then Eli went to the sideline.
Nicks took it 54 yards.
Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's on the left guard, Brian Waters. Todd Haley looking for his first victory as Chiefs head coach. Following the penalty, 2nd down and 8 from the 22. Castle down back at the 17, and the penalty marker. This should be a face mask. Mathias Kiwanuka.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, number 94. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
This is pretty easy to see right here. Matt Castle comes by, boom. Wow, man, you got to let that go. That you hurt somebody like that. That's not a smart move by Mathias Kiwanuka. 1st and 10.
Castle out of the shotgun. From the 32 on 1st down. Larry Johnson and Antonio Pierce getting into the backfield, wraps up Johnson for a loss of 5.
Somebody's got to account for number 58.
I'm going to put that play on the shelf.
He's right there. No one blocks him, and he just makes the tackle. They really want to help him out with his stats. Larry Johnson has no chance with no one blocking.
2nd down and 15. Castle under pressure again. Down he goes. Back at the 13-yard line. Rocky Bernard who spent the last 7 seasons in Seattle, loss of 14 on the sack.
And that's reminiscent of Philadelphia last week. That happened quite a bit with the pressure that Philadelphia was bringing. It's really the first time we've seen a complete breakdown by the Chiefs' offensive line this afternoon. They've actually handled the pressure pretty good.
So now 3rd down and 27 following the Giants' 4th sack of the game. Kansas' pass was low, intended for Bobby Wade. Fourth down and 27, Goose.
Third down and 27. I wouldn't throw that little pass right there. I don't know about that, but 4th and 27. I don't know, Moose. What do you like in this situation? I wouldn't go with the draw.
I call it. You know, what did the Philadelphia Eagles run that one time?
Freddie Mitchell.
Yeah, they did the 4th and 26. Might have had another yard in them.
Sean Ryan makes the catch, but 17 yards shy of the marker. That won't do it.
I might have worked on my punting game in that situation.
They got a great punter, too.
So the Giants will send their offense back out with 2:28 remaining. Giants defense, which shut out Tampa last week on the road, has held the Chiefs to under 200 yards of total offense. Giants have gained 422. And the Giants just over 2 minutes away from a 4-0 start for the 2nd consecutive season. From the 25 on 1st down, Jacobs running behind Hedgecock, breaks a tackle, and is down at the 24-yard line after gaining 1. As we approach the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City, Giants will host the Oakland Raiders next week, and Giants certainly hope to have Eli Manning as their starter when the Raiders visit the Meadowlands. Eli suffered the bruised heel earlier this quarter. Steve Smith and the Giants with a 27-16 lead over the Chiefs. 2 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. 11 receptions, 2 touchdowns for Smith today. Carr handing it off to Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs, the ball carrier. Tackled by Lee. By Brandon Grant.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 84. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 93. Those fouls all set, replay, 2nd down.
Darcy Johnson on the Giants side, and Tank Tyler. 2nd down and 9. Jacobs. Third down and 3 coming up for the Giants. Under 90 seconds on the clock. Again, in case you joined us late, Eli Manning suffered a bruised heel earlier in this 4th quarter. On the next play, threw a touchdown pass. Hakeem Nicks took it 54 yards, extending the Giants' lead to 27-3. Matt Castle, a couple of touchdown passes. Jacobs. Jacobs bottled up back at the 21.
It's been a tough afternoon for the Kansas City Chiefs and a tough start to this season. But you know, when we talk to Todd Haley, we talk to, football is all about black and white issues. You're either a starter or a backup. You win or lose. There's not many shades of gray, and he knows that. And he said, but sometimes when you go back and you watch the film and you review what you saw on Sunday, you can find some small victories, and that's what we have to do right now. We have to continue to get better in certain areas, and I really think they did. From last week to this week, playing a very, very tough Giants defense that can put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I thought they did a nice job protecting Matt Castle. handling those situations much better than they did last week against Philadelphia. I think keeping Larry Johnson in, allowing him to get into a rhythm also was a plus offensively.
The Chiefs with their offense back out onto the field. This is Jamal Charles, who started the game by fumbling the opening kickoff. Chiefs are going to drop, Darryl, to 0-4 for the first time since 1980 under head coach Marv Levy.
There's a lot of tradition here with this Kansas City franchise, and they're in a transitional period right now, but a lot more positives this week to talk about on Monday than they had last week.
So the Giants now 4-0, Chiefs 0-4.